So good afternoon students. So today we'll study the resolving power. The resolving power. Okay. Alright. So and dispersive power. And as I have said, this is pretty important because you get some problems and also a small derivation from here. Okay. Now what is resolving power? How do you define resolving power? Well, the resolving power is defined as the reciprocal of the smallest angle subtended at the objective of an optical instrument, say, by two point objects which can just be distinguished as separate. So the reciprocal, so if you take, if d theta is the smallest angle subtended by, suppose you consider two point objects. Okay, suppose you consider, say, 2 point objects, very small objects like this. The smallest angle, if you consider the angle subtended by these 2 points object on the objective of the instrument. Okay, suppose, say, this is the angle which is subtended and you call this as d theta. Okay, if d theta is the smallest angle subtended by two objects like this, point objects on the objective of the instrument, then you define the resolving power as 1 by d theta. Okay, so d theta basically gives you the limit of resolution. Why so? Because d theta is the smallest angle subtended by two point objects at the objective of the instrument. Okay, and therefore you define this resolving power as the reciprocal of the smallest angle subtended at the objective of an optical instrument by two point objects which can just be distinguished as separate. You can just distinguish these 2 point objects as separate. Okay, that is what you define as the resolving power. Okay, now, well, it's important at this point, therefore, because this is the question that you need to know. All right, over here is about the Rayleigh criterion. What is Rayleigh criterion? Okay, this criterion is very important. You might see it very in your question paper and you might get problems on this also. Well, this is Rayleigh's criterion is for resolution. Okay, now basically the theory of optical instruments are basically based on the laws of geometrical optics. You must be knowing to a certain extent, which are approximately true. Now, when a beam of light passes through the objective of a telescope, the lens acts like a circular aperture and produces actually a diffraction pattern instead of a point image. Okay, now this diffraction pattern is a bright point surrounded by alternate dark and bright rings. So basically you see a bright point surrounded by alternate dark and bright rings. Okay, now if there are two such point objects lying close to one another, then two diffraction patterns will be produced which will overlap, isn't it? So you may have two such point objects like this. So basically you will see diffraction pattern around these points of bright and dark rings. Similarly, you will see it around this points of bright and dark rings. Okay, all right. Now, according to Rayleigh's criterion, the two images of such point objects lying close to each other are said to be separated if the central maxima of the one falls on the first secondary minimum of the other. So if the central maxima of this falls on the first secondary minima of the other, so basically therefore it means like this. So suppose you are getting diffraction pattern. How does the diffraction pattern looks like? It's a central maxima, and then you have a minima and again a secondary maxima of gradually decreasing intensity. It goes on like this. Similarly, this side also you have a similar pattern like this. Now if you consider if you just take this object now, what is the condition under which both of them will be just separated? Okay, it means now the first minima of this one is here, so the central maxima of the second one should lie on the first minima of the other. Okay, so the second one, so that your system is just resolved. So you see this central maxima is lying on the first minima of this one, and then this proceeds in its own manner. Alright, if I just draw it separately, so this is your central maxima for the first one, okay, and this is the first secondary minimum, this one, this part, and then it goes, then this should be the central maxima for the other one, and then this should proceed like this. Only then you can say that these two will be just separated. So this is the limit of resolution defined by Rayleigh. That the language that he uses is, which is called Rayleigh's criterion. Well, the two images are said to be of this 2 point objects, say of 2 point objects the two images of these two such point objects lying close to one another lying close to one another are said to be separated or resolved if the central maxima of one maxima of one falls on the first secondary minimum of the other, falls on the first secondary minimum. So this you need to know, and that is why I am writing of the other, okay. The central maxima of one should fall on the first secondary minima of the other. Alright, so this is called the Rayleigh's criterion. Okay, so this criterion is not only applicable to the diffraction patterns, it's equally applicable to the resolution of spectral lines of equal intensity. So two closed lines in the spectrum are just resolved when the central maximum of the diffraction pattern of one falls on the first minimum of the diffraction pattern of the other. Okay, so the least angular separation between these principal maxima of the diffraction pattern of two spectral lines in a given diffraction order should be equal to half the angular width of either of the principal maxima. Now suppose, say, in that case we say that the resolving power is actually equal to lambda by d lambda. Okay, so lambda is the wavelength of the line in the spectrum and d lambda is the difference in the wavelength that can be seen to be just separate. So you can have lines of two different wavelengths, but will these lines be separated or will they overlap? They will be separated if you can see if lambda by d lambda, the resolving power which you are saying, satisfies Rayleigh's criterion. Okay, now the thing is, well, that very important question which needs to be addressed. So let us do that in the next slide.